So we go.
All right, guys, we are here again. We'll give people a minute or so to jump on here and talk about what's going on in our week 5 recap. Talk about what's coming up on week 6, and talk with our special guests we have on here tonight. So let's go around. We'll kind of introduce. We got Lonnie with us tonight. Kevin's here. We got John. We have Jody. Gene's having some technical difficulties, and then we have Mr. Ben Lappin with us tonight too. He's joining the group for the evening. So how's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Good here.
Doing great.
Trying to beat the heat.
Still happening. A few more months of that,
Hard
right?
to do.
Yeah,
So,
it's been. I mean, I think this week coming up in Detroit area, we have mid 90s next week coming up with high humidity. So it's gonna be a rough week. Luckily, the treadmill's in the basement where it's like 65, so I don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, outdoor running has been tough. I know, Ben, you like to run at night, so that's something I do a lot too, to try to beat the heat. So
for sure, that's my preferred time. Is at night.
Too. You got a light vest? Do you run with a?
Yeah, I run with a couple different things. I like gadgets, anyways. So I'll try either the belt one day, and then I'll do the light vest another day, and then I'll run with headlamp another day. Just depends on whatever mood I'm in.
Yeah.
So Ben, have you found a good headlamp that feels comfortable while you're running? Because I think that's been one of my problems with trying to run at night.
No, I have
a giant head, John.
I do, and it's with the bald head. It kind of reflects light naturally, but I still want to have a headlamp to see where I'm going.
Yeah.
I tell you what I did, ironically enough, is I bought a 3-pack of the Duracell headlamps from Costco. They come in a 3-pack. And I bought 3 of those, and I ran with one of them to start with. And I'm like, all right, this works okay. But as you're running and your head's bouncing, and it's awful. So then I tried it, and I stretched it out to the farthest I could go with it, and I put it around my waist and sit. So then it's down at my waist and shine it at, and then I can point it at my feet or straight ahead if I want to. And I think that works a whole lot better for me.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You can take it off of the strap and kind of put it, on your shorts or on a belt or whatever the case is.
No, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I have one that I love that I got at REI. When Tim used to do his 24-hour races, they were required to have headlamps and backup headlamps, or else they would have to tap out of the race. So we've got probably 12 different choices. But then I also have these little lamps that attach to my shoes that were on Shark Tank, and we found, and those are pretty awesome. I like those a lot. So.
You did this. I thought maybe you were going to say that you had some that attached to your fingers. I've seen gloves like that.
They make them.
Yeah.
That would be
I wear a vest that's got the LED. It's like I forget what they're called, but
I fidget with those too much.
Yeah. It's always getting it straight. It's always moving around on you. But
yeah,
Jack Whitaker said
they think you're some kind of alien from another planet or something when you go running through the neighborhood with that on. So
in the chat, Jack Whitaker said that he got $15 cheap headlamp from Amazon. I've used cheap headlamps, not for running, because I listen to murder podcasts and I don't run at all.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah.
And I admire you guys. I will not run at night because literally there's like everything out here. Snakes. I'm scared I run up on a snake. At night I hear coyotes howling and stuff. I'm not going out at night making a run. I've had a bad dream about that. Not doing it.
I live in like the middle of suburbia, and I still don't like running at night for some reason, but I'm fine running at like 4 or 5 in the morning. I don't know why the difference there, but I just feel uncomfortable for some reason at night. And I mean, I'm a big dude, and nobody's really going to probably attack this guy if they're going for somebody, but still, I'm like,
I don't know, man.
There's no crime where I don't know what it is.
No. Coyotes go in packs, John. So
yeah. I've seen coyotes. They usually run away. I've seen deer and armadillos, all that kind of thing. I mean, in the South, you got all kinds of critters.
Armadillo?
Yeah,
that would be cute.
You only need that one coyote that had a bad day. It's like enough of this. I'm not running.
Last week I was running up, and it was right about dark 30 anyways, and I was running up and I saw something running across the street and looked, and it was a raccoon. I stayed well away from him. That was an extra 30-second walk break at that point. Just let him get far away from me.
You have a lot of Wolverines probably up there, John, but I hear they're cowards. They'll run away from you anyway.
Wow. All I know is they beat the heck out of the Buckeyes last time they played. So who's the winner?
So how did everybody's week 5 go? Any good things, bad things? Did you get your runs in? How are things looking?
You know, I mostly walked this past week because I had some type of cold or something that stretched out like 2 weeks. So beginning of the week, I walked, did a Peloton ride in the middle there, but I got everything in time wise and everything. Just there was a lot of walking involved. And then yesterday, had my first race since marathon with my daughter. So I got my 3-ish plus mile run in. So we did a 5K, and that was really fun because she ran with me the whole time, which made it a lot more enjoyable than just running by myself and getting passed by everybody. So this week went pretty well, I think, overall.
Yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Kevin.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say I got about 6 miles on Sunday. I was a day late, and then my family was at the beach. We did a lot of walking on the beach, but I didn't track it. I didn't time it. Worked, some different muscles. My ankles and my calves were real sore every day. So I didn't do the midweek runs, but then I got my weekend run today, and it was glorious. Really, it was. In the middle of the day, it was 91, 92, 93 degrees. Stayed pretty hydrated. Had good time. I tried to go. I really was going slow, but it just seemed like I hit every interval. Everything was working out for me, so it was good. I'm ready to start next week.
Yeah, I've had a couple rough weeks before this past week. I know last week I talked about missing my long run. I made up for that on Monday. I skipped a day, then ran my 2 weekday runs, and then ran my 3.5 today with the kids on the bike. And it was hot though. Every run this week was just really, really right. The temperature was in the low 90s, but the humidity was through the roof. It's just really hard to cool off. But I got the miles in, and that's what matters. So,
what about you, Jody?
I came back from Disney with a little bit of the Disney yucks. So I tried to run on Monday, which was bad call. I didn't feel good at all, and probably shouldn't have tried to run. Walked on. I've got a training plan going on with Coach Twiggs. I sent a message to him, told him there's no way I can do what was on the schedule. So he changed my schedule up. He had me walk on Wednesday. So I took the dog, walked 3 miles on Wednesday. And I did my 5 miles Saturday, but it was rough. It was not my best. So I think I've got another week or so of taking it easy and just trying to get slowly back into it. So
that's a nice thing with that customized training. You can, when you have a blip in it, you send him a message, he adjusts you out and get you back on where you need to be quick. So.
Yeah, and that's Coach Twiggs through the Galloway plan, right?
Yeah.
Through Galloway?
Chris Twiggs works for Jeff Galloway. Yep. Really cool guy too. I think I shared with you guys. Tim and I met him at a Barcelona bar. He's super, super cool. So.
How about you?
I got about 6 coaches. I just asked you guys what I should do, and I just whatever the consensus is, that's what I do.
And none of us have any idea what we're doing. So
nope.
I tried to get out there. I did, probably 3.5 on, one day last week. I think it was Wednesday. But we've had a lot of storms, afternoon storms. So it's hard for me to get out there. And even though I like running at night, you never know when they're coming. So trying to do that. And then, of course, like we said earlier, with all the birthdays and everything and the traveling, I'll be honest with y'all. I have not been doing my training plan. But just today, this morning, I went ahead because I tried to do the Hal Higdon app and everything, and it just wasn't working out for me. I had 7 miles yesterday and 6 miles today, and I'm like, well, that ain't gonna happen. But I went ahead and I printed out the Jeff Galloway plan, the schedule. I did it for both me and my wife, and I'm gonna put it on the fridge. That way, it's right there in front of me. I don't have to worry about it on the app or if it reminds me or not. So hopefully this week, with the encouragement of y'all and kicking my butt into gear, we're going to start it. We're going to start it strong.
Now,
so
you're going
how many
down.
dopies have you done so far? This will be what number?
This will be my 5th dopey.
So you're a veteran, big time.
I don't know about that, but it's still hard whenever you get out there, the starting of it, because I haven't run, in so many months. So it's all we all start at the same place.
Right. What's Kristen running?
She's going to run the 5 and the 10.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So Lonnie, how did your week go? Any
Well,
pluses or
mine
minuses?
didn't go a lot of minuses. So I did my Tuesday 45-minute run, did about 3 miles, didn't feel too good after doing that. Very winded, it was a hard 3 miles, really way harder than it should be. So got off, took a test, tested positive for the illness. I know we can't say the word now, and I think it'll put a Facebook slash on us or something. I don't know that thing. So that was the last run for it, and I've just been resting the rest of the week. My hope is this upcoming week that I will try to get back into it. But I think it goes back to what we were saying. If you don't feel it, or if you're sick or something like that, just back off, right? Don't beat yourself up. And I didn't beat myself up. So there we go.
Yeah, that's good. That's important. I mean, we've talked about it on other episodes too.
Yeah.
If you push yourself too much, you're going to get injured, and then you're going to be taking a heck of a lot more time off than a week or two. So that was smart, Lonnie. Just listen to your body and what you need to do to get back to healthy.
I know I got my 3 runs in again this week, 3rd week in a row. So we're kind of starting to settle into a groove a bit with that. My 2 weekday runs, I got to run with my nephew who's getting ready to graduate college, in pretty good shape, can just kind of run out. We were jogging about my 13-minute mile pace, and he's told me the next day that he thinks he could just run a marathon right now at that pace and feel okay with it, which kind of right. Mm-hmm. I felt a little rough after that one, and he felt okay.
Darn kids.
Don't even like him.
And then Carly got to run with me today. That's the first time we've ran together, actually, probably since January. She's had a 5K on her own, but I think that's the first time we've been out together since the half marathon in January. So it's kind of nice to get somebody company this week a little bit. So, but I think the big thing that we brought Ben on today, as we're going to start a new series here each week, whenever we do these Release the Quacken show, is talking about why do you fly south? So why are you deciding to do this? Why do you want to run these races at Disney? What's your reasoning for putting in all these miles and everything? So I'll give the floor to you a minute, Ben, if you want, and you can kind of maybe give us your reason a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. So for me, me and Kristen, we found the Lizards through the podcast, like majority of us have. And I think we started running 6, 7, I want to say probably 7 years ago now. And the first time we did it, it was a 10K. And as soon as we got out there, it was pouring down rain, but just the camaraderie. And even that first race, we met Ed, and I think he lives out in Washington. And we still had that connection, and I think that's what it's all about for me. And running with the Lizards it's all about the connections. It's all about the friendships that we make off of that. Last year, due to certain circumstances and everything else, I had nobody to run with on the full marathon. And, starting out, the rest of us, we had not spoke, about it beforehand. And then the day of, it's like, hey, do you mind if I run with y'all? It's like, no, that's fine. Great. And then 26 miles later, we're all finishing together, and we've got so many great stories. And that's why I continue to do it. It's not about, yes, Dopey is, a little bit more expensive than I would like for it to be, but it's not about the money. And to me, it's not about the medals. It's more about the stories and the friendships and the relationships that we have built over the years. That's what keeps drawing us to it. There's a little bit of FOMO. I don't want to miss out a year, if we don't have to. But to me, it's all about coming down and just having a week with our family that we have built through the Lizards, and that's why we do it.
Yeah, it's funny. Everybody on the screen is nodding their head the same way, right? I think we're all kind of in the same boat. That it's the people that are just. It's so awesome, the relationships made and just the fun hanging out before the races and even during the race. I mean, who would have thought we'd have that much fun for running for 7 hours?
A little over 7 hours.
Yeah.
Well, you said about running for 7 hours, for the marathon. And I'll be honest with you, and I told Kristen this, I said, that was my worst time as far as clockwise for a marathon, but that was my best time running with a group of guys and having that much fun for 7 hours. I mean, it was fantastic. I had a ball. I'd do it again tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, but give us a couple weeks. In January, I'll do it again.
You'd be putting all of us on your back that one, Ben, if we tried that tomorrow.
We should have told you, Ben, when we started that we're built for comfort, not speed. Maybe that would have changed.
No, I'm good.
You want to run with us, but yeah.
Loved it though.
So if people want to reach out to you, Ben,
a marathon, yeah, for sure.
If people want to reach out to you, where can they find you? What do you do? What do you have any other Disney connections other than just the Lizards and running? What's your?
Yeah, I do. So I'm also a travel agent. I do that, part-time, full-time, really. I've been doing it for 6 years through the Magic for Less Travel. And through the Magic for Less Travel, we help families plan, trips to Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, all-inclusive resorts, in all the cruise lines. And what I like about doing that, and the reason I even got into it to start with, is because I know the joy that it brings me and my family and the stories that we have. Like just, a couple weeks ago, we were at Disneyland, and the memories that we got to make out there, just with the new environment, the new cast members and the characters and the new rides and everything else. I love having those memories. So that's what I like to help other families with, because there's so many things going on, especially right now, coming out of, that war that we won't mention, but coming out of it, there's so many different things that changes. And it's always nice to have somebody on your side or in your back pocket that you can send a text message to and say, hey, I'm thinking about this, and we help you with that. There's no additional charge for us. It's the same price. So basically you're paying for a travel agent, whether you book it through Disney or not, so it's better to have somebody, and you don't have to sit online or, sit on the phone for hours on end just to ask a 30-second question, so it's nice to have that relationship. And that's what I enjoy helping families with, is just to help them. And with me, and like a lot of the other agents as well, we don't stop at just, hey, you're booked. Okay, great. Have a good time. No, I just had a guest this morning that was checking into the Riviera, and I told her, I said, look, I'm here throughout your whole entire trip. If you need anything, I'm here. Just, send me a text message. I'm here. So that's what we do. And that's what I looked at to help people with.
So you're saying that if somebody needs to wait on hold for 6 hours because their resort never opened, you'd be willing to do that for them, right?
That's me. Yep.
That was you?
Yeah. That's not my official title, but yeah, we'll go with it.
I'm pretty sure we took advantage of that for a little bit.
Right. Absolutely.
I also, Ben, want to give you a personal shout out and thank you on behalf of all of us. And John, I see you're repping some Lizard gear. For those of you who don't know, Ben is in charge of Lizard shirts and all that stuff. And he is the man. I can't even imagine the headache and I just don't even want to know. But sincerely, from someone who has purchased multiple shirts, and I just absolutely appreciate all you do for that and your support for the Lizards, because we all look good because of you. So thank you. A million thank yous for.
We're all easy to find. It's easy to find.
That's how we find each other.
Yep. Well, thank you all very much. And I enjoy it. And once again, it's one of those that I don't mind doing it because it's part of the family. It's part of what we do to help each other, so I don't mind. Speaking of that, anybody who is listening, I'm going to be closing that t-shirt order the end of next week. So I'll post it on the Lizards group, on Facebook. But yeah, we'll be closing that out so that we can make sure to get all of them printed and shipped out, before the holidays get started.
I'm putting in a reminder right now because I know my husband wants a new one. So I just
right.
Excuse me when I was looking the other way, but I was typing it in because I'm like, I know Tim wants a new one. So
yeah, and I will say this, Ben. I use the Magic for Less Travel. Couldn't be happier. I think you guys do a great job there. It's even as a team, you guys working together. And to your point, why would you not want to have that extra layer of protection when you book a vacation, especially when it's free? So right. I can tell you stories. I'm sure everybody here can say stories that there's some happen and you're like, I don't have the time to do it, but I have somebody in my corner, and they're going to take care of it for me. Right. Or, hey, it's a great to have an email that comes and say, hey, you saved money because there's an extra promotion that just came open, and now I automatically did it for you, right? So that's the kind of stuff that using Ben, what he can do for you. So Ben, would you like to give your email address or something, so if anybody wants to contact you, I'm sure there's no obligation quotes and stuff like that they can get in touch with you.
Yep. Yeah. Any of the quotes that we give out are no obligation quotes. To book any of the quotes, especially for Disney or anything, it's just a $200 fully refundable deposit, and then final payments due 31 days, prior to arrival. And we can help with payment plans and anything like that you want. If you would like to get in touch with me, my email address is ben@themagicforless, themagicforless.com. And then on Facebook and Instagram, it's just Ben Lappin Travel. And that's Ben, BEN, Lappin, LAPPIN Travel.
Well, we appreciate you coming on to this tonight, Ben, and kind of giving your why.
Yeah.
What are we looking forward to next week? What's our schedule looking like, guys? What's on the calendar?
What's on there?
I'm looking forward to just hitting all 3 days.
Well, next week we kind of crank it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Fickus said, I was reading his post earlier. Is it 7? I thought it was 7.5, but he said 7. So
yeah,
7.
it's
I'm looking at
2 45-minute runs and then a 7-mile long run.
I'm glad it's not 7.5.
That half would have got you.
That last
extra
half mile though is
got you.
always the hardest. Yeah.
So speaking of that, let me ask you guys, what apps do y'all use, if any? I mean, do y'all use? I mean, I know we all use, either a Runkeeper or Strava, for our daily runs. But do y'all use any apps that remind you of your training? Hey, you've got this many miles on this day and this many miles on that day, or do y'all just print it off? Like I know Jody had it in her hand earlier. Do y'all just print it off and go with that, or do y'all use an app?
I
So
put everything in a
Lonnie-
spreadsheet.
Lonnie's
I
been
do it
my
that
app.
way. Oh, Lonnie.
Always
Surprisingly, Lonnie prints it out, right?
Who
took
would have
the
thought?
app- I took the Galloway sheet and I put it into an Excel spreadsheet with all the dates and had it automatically populate that way. So I like it that way personally, just so I've got the dates plugged in. But
I stole Jody's and just color coded the midweek runs one color and the weekend runs. And then when there are 2 weekend runs, when that starts, I color coded that as well and put it into a Google Sheet so I can just get it on my phone rather than Excel. And so I don't like Google Sheets as much as Excel, but I just have free access of it on my phone. So that's what I've used. But this is going to be my third Dopey, and I've never used a spreadsheet before. In the past, I just saved the Galloway training plan to iBooks or something that saves PDFs, but it doesn't have the dates listed. And so I would get mixed up. I would ask, and Lonnie would keep me straight, because of course, he's an old guy and he prints everything out, but I'm basically a millennial. So I use my phone and, so I try to be, very, very tech savvy. But this year it's more top of mind for me. I mean, it would sneak up on me. It'd get to the week. I'm like, hey, what are we running? 7,
Yeah.
So now it's not like that.
I usually wait till Sunday nights, and whenever Lonnie says what we're doing next week's when I find out what our next week's training runs are. So as long as I'm surprised, I'd rather just do it.
And I'm not an old guy, Ben. I did yell at some rabbits today to get off my lawn, but hey, I'm as old. They're just on my lawn without permission.
That's right.
Anybody have any final wrap-up things for this evening? Nobody?
Hey, I do
great.
want to say this, that Ben is was one of the first people I met in the Lizards. And so one of my first Lizard friends. And one of the great things about this event, and the Lizards is just seeing these people over and over again, but seeing several races in a row, the same people, seeing those friendly faces, it's just really good. Ben, I just want to thank you. You were very welcoming to me and very inclusive of me. And even though I was friends with Lonnie. And so I want to say I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, so much. You're a big
Absolutely.
reason why I'm part of the Lizards, for sure.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And it's not me. I mean, this all started with Captain Mike Bankhead and Mike Rahman. That's where it all started. But, I know that I was late to the game, but, that's one thing I love about it is majority of everybody in the group is so welcoming of everybody. And even when you're standing there at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and you look over and you see somebody off to the side, majority of us, you know, go over and introduce ourselves to them and try to bring them into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, all right, guys. I think before we go out, I think it's been 7 months since we've had one of these. Can we get a big DuckTales yell before we end this call tonight?
Absolutely. Yep. DuckTales.
Woo! Remember, forwards at pace, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, everybody.
See you guys.
Good
Thanks,
night,
guys.
everybody.
Good stuff.